Today we are going to do passive recon from Tryhackme, which is the way of gathering information without directly interacting with your target. For example, by using social medias like Instagram or Twitter, and even more tools like whois and lookup and dig. And a quick disclaimer, this video is for educational purposes only. I don't endorse any illegal activities. So with that being said, let's dive into the video. Okay, let's go start with task number 1, which is introduction. As you can see, this is just introduction of what we're going to learn. So there is nothing much to answer over here. I'm just going to click complete. And now we are going to straight to the task number 2, which is passive versus active reconnaissance. So right off the bat, when you say passive reconnaissance, it is the process of gathering information without ever interacting with your target. For example, if you go to their social medias account or LinkedIn in order to look for information that is publicly available, that is what we mean by passive reconnaissance. So with that meaning, let's go straight to the question and see if we can answer them. Okay, here it says, you visit the Facebook page of the target company, hoping to get some of the employees' name. What kind of reconnaissance activity is this? Okay, because here we are going to the Facebook page, we are not going straight to the target. We are just going to the Facebook to use the publicly available information. So this is a part of passive reconnaissance because we are observing from the internet. We are just looking to their publicly available information. So this is passive reconnaissance. I'm going to type P and it is a correct answer. The next one, it says you ping the IP address of the company web server to check if ICMP traffic is blocked. What kind of reconnaissance activity is this? Because now we are pinging the IP address of the company, which means we are actively interacting with the company. So this is the part of active reconnaissance, which means you are gathering information by interacting with our target. So we are just going to answer A, which is active reconnaissance, and then we are going to submit, which is a correct answer. The next one, you happen to meet the IT administrator. Keyword, you happen to meet the IT administrator of the target company at a party. You try to use social engineering to get more information about their system and network infrastructure. What kind of reconnaissance activity is this? Keyword, as I said, you happen to meet the IT administrator. Remember, any information IT administrator is going to tell you, you are not using the publicly available information. You are interacting directly with the employees of that particular company, which means we are gathering information actively. So this is an active reconnaissance. So whenever you meet a question like this, you need to think yourself, are you using a publicly available information or are you directly getting the information from the target? So here we are going to say A and D. That is the correct answer. Now let us go to the next task, which is task number 3, which is the whois tool. The purpose of using the whois tool in order to passively gather the information about our target. So this whois is the tool that will give you the information about the domain. For example, if I go to my terminal over here and I put whois, for example, whois, then I say, for example, microsoft.com, microsoft.com, like this. It is going to tell me when this domain was created. It is going to give me some little bit of information. Okay, so for example, if I go over here on top, you can see the domain name is microsoft.com. Then is a registry domain. You can see ID. You can see the server that is being the registrant whois server. Okay, registrar is the someone who is going to register that domain name. And you can see the registrar URL. So you can gather passively a little bit of information by using the whois tool. So as you can see, this is just the basic usage of whois tool. Let us go to answer the question so we can understand even more what the whois tool can do when we are passively gathering the information. Now let us go and see the questions. Okay, if we go to the questions over here, we can see when was Tryhackme.com registered. So we need to use the whois tool to figure out this information. So we are just going to the whois tool over here. I'm going to say whois Tryhackme, Tryhackme.com, like this, and we are going to hit enter. Okay, now the information came. Now we need to figure out when Tryhackme.com was registered. So if we go on top over here, we can see different information, and we can see the creation date over here, which was 2018 July July 5th, like over here. So we're just going to say it was 2018, July 5th, like this. And how did I figure out about this date format? If we go to hint over here, you can see the way you are required to answer this question. You need to start with the year, then you go to the month, and then go to the date. So I'm just going to click submit, and you can see it is a correct answer. Now, what is the registrar of the tryhackme.com? Okay, so if we go to the hint over here, you can see we need to give the domain name of that registrar. Okay, so we are going to the whois tool, and you are going to find the registrar. Okay, so here we can see a lot of information about the registrar. We can go over here. We can see registrar. We can see here there is Namecheap Inc. Okay, which is a part of the registrar, but we need to give their domain. So we are just going to look for their domain name. So we can see here there is a registrar who is saved over here, and it is a whois.namecheap.com. So I'm suspecting it will be namecheap.com over here. We can start things out to see if this is a correct answer or not. So I'm just going to copy this one, and I'm going to put over here there because it looks like a domain, right? So let us put it over here, and if we hit enter, it is a correct answer. So this is a domain, the registrar domain, which is namecheap.com. Okay, remember, registrar is the owner who registered the Tryhackme domain. Okay, so if I hope that is clear. And the purpose of gathering this information so that we can see if there is any vulnerability that is associated with that particular domain and the stuff and the technologies behind it. That is just the key. Okay, so the next one, it says, which company is tryhackme.com using for name servers? Name servers, as always, these are the domain servers which are used to translate the domain names to the IP addresses. So to find this information, we need to go back to the whois output over here, and we can see there is a lot of information, but the name servers are being listed over here. We can see the first one is kip.nes.cloudflare. The next one is uma.nes.cloudflare. But all of this here are known as the subdomains. But the main domain over here is this cloudflare.com. And inside of Cloudflare, you can find the other information as well. So what we're going to answer is this cloudflare.com, which is the name server that is being used by tryhackme.com. So we are just going to put it over here like this, and we are going to continue. Okay, now we can go to the next question, which is NS lookup and using the dig command. Now if I click on it, you can see a lot of commands and a lot of things, but as always, I'm going to answer their question and teach you based on my own experience. So let us go straight to the questions and see how we can do this. Okay, here it says, check the text record of thmlabs.com. What is the flag there? So for this one, I need to give you a little bit of information about dig and the DNS records so we know exactly what we are doing. Okay, so here I'm going to open Sublime Text. Let me see if I can open Sublime Text. Okay, Sublime Text, I open it like that, and these are just some of the stuff I was studying. So let me open another new tab like this. So when it comes to DNS or domain naming system, which works under port 53, it has a lot of records. Okay, the first record is called A. It refers to the IP version 4, and then there is another record which is Quadro A, which is the IP version 6. And another record, it is called the CNAME. For me, I never looked into it, but they said this is known as canonical name. It is known as canonical name. And the next one is called the MX, which refer to the mail server. And the next one is called the TXT, which refer to the text records that can be found on the DNS server of a targeted website. Okay, so for this question that we are looking at right now, it says, check the TXT records of the THM Labs. What is the flag there? There are multiple ways of doing this. Okay, the multiple ways of doing this. But first, I need to show you how to use NS lookup and dig command. And there is one other website that I need to show you before I answer this question, so that you can get maximum value out of this video. So what we're going to do here, we are going to use these two tools, NS lookup, and in a long format it says name server lookup, which means we are going to provide a domain name and it is going to tell us about the IP address and the DNS information about that particular domain. And the next tool we're going to look is the tool called the dig, and one website goes by the name of DNS dumpster, which is good website to check for subdomains, and you can use this tool during the bug bounty operations. So let us start with NS lookup, and we are going to use domain Tryhackme because we have permission to do that. Okay, so for this one, I'm going to open my terminal. I'm going to cancel this one out so that we can focus on the NS lookup. So we're going to say NS lookup like this, but it is good to use this command as a root so that you can get maximum out of them. So we're going to say, I'm going to type my password over here like that, and I'm going to say NS lookup without any option, and I'm going to say tryhackme.com like this, and you can see it is going to say that the server address and everything like this, and you can see this is a Tryhackme, and then we can see the IP address. So it is going to give us the IP address for the domain Tryhackme. So it is going to check it to the DNS records and see, oh, Tryhackme domain has this particular IP address. But you can weaponize the NS lookup to achieve a lot more stuff. For example, you can say NS lookup like this, and then you can specify what type or what record of DNS you are looking for. For example, if we are looking for mail servers on Tryhackme, we can use DNS record MX. So we use the type flag in order to specify which DNS record we need. As I showed you over here, these are the different information we can get from DNS. For now, I'm using the MX to check for the mail server for Tryhackme. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to specify the type I need to check is MX, and in front of it, we're going to provide the Tryhackme domain.com, and in front of it, we can specify a domain the domain name server that is publicly available we want to use. For example, if we need to use the domain server of Cloudflare, we can use the IP address 111.111, or if we need to use a domain server provided by Google, we can use 888 like this, which is the domain server for Google, and you can enter like that, and you can see this is a different mail server for the Tryhackme account. And the dig command is doing the same thing. For example, if we say dig, and then you say, for example, tryhackme.com like this, and in front of it you specify the type, the DNS record that you need, you can hit enter. You can see it returns the domain, the mail server that we are looking for. And another thing I showed you is something called the DNS dumpster. This is a way of gathering a lot more information about the DNS records for that particular website, including the subdomain. And for all of you guys who don't know what subdomain is, for example, if we have the domain like Tryhackme, like this.com, and this Tryhackme.com domain might have a lot of subdomain. For example, it can have a subdomain like this, for example, a.tryhackme.com. It can have another one. Apart from A, it can have, for example, blog.tryhackme.com. So to get these subdomains, we cannot use tools like dig or NS lookup. There, we are going to use this tool called the DNS dumpster, which is going to use a word list to brute force the subdomain of Tryhackme. And you may ask, during passive reconnaissance, why do we need subdomains? Good question. We need subdomain because this subdomain might contain vulnerabilities that cannot be found on the main domain over here, because the developers might have created this subdomain and forget to maintain it, which may result into it having some vulnerabilities, which will help us to leverage our attack into the main domain over here. Hope it makes sense. So now let us go and use the DNS dumpster. So I'm going to my search bar over here. I'm going to type Google. Then after typing Google, I'm going to type DNS dumpster like that, and I'm going to click this first one. So it will open over here. So after it opens, I'm just going to type tryhackme.com like this, and I'm going to hit enter. As you can see, it is going to give me a result like this. You can see DNS servers that we found using the NS lookup, and you can see the mail server MX records, which are this one over here. As you can see, we found them using NS lookup, and the text records are over here. As you can see them over here, and this one over here as the subdomains. As you can see, this one over here as the subdomains of Tryhackme. So the good way thing you can do, you can just download the Excel document over here, or you can view it in a graph version. So these are the different ways we can gather information by using different tools to gather the information about DNS. Now let's go and answer the question that we were asked. Okay. The question says, check the text records of the THM labs. What is the flag? What is the flag there? Okay. So we need to check the text record of this domain over here. And there is multiple ways we can do this. We can either use DNS dumpster by typing this domain over there, or we can go a little bit sophisticated and use the NS lookup command. I said we can use NS lookup like this, NS lookup like this, and we can use the dash type keyword, and we are going to specify the text record that we need, and we are going to paste the domain that we need to look for, and in front of it, you can just leave it like there, or we can just specify the domain server that we need to check it for. And if we hit enter, we can see this one over here. Okay, this information, this flag. But at the same time, we can take this one out. You can copy this one out and put it into the DNS dumpster like that. We can copy it and paste it over here and hit enter, and it is analyzing, and you can see we can find the same information over here. Hopefully that is understood and you are enjoying the lecture. So if I'm going to my terminal, I'm going to copy this flag over here, and I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it on my answer section over here, so we can get that sweet correct answer. Okay, now we are going to the DNS dumpster. Okay, okay, I jumped myself over there. So this is the lecture based on DNS dumpster, but we have already covered that. So let us go straight to the question. It says, look up tryhackme.com DNS dumpster. What is one interesting subdomain that you would discover in addition to www and the blog? Okay, so if we go here, we type tryhackme.com, and we hit enter. We can go straight to the subdomain section. They say that we cannot use www or the blog, but this help subdomain is not that important because it's just going to provide generic help to the Tryhackme user. But the domain that is interesting is this one here, remote.tryhackme.com. It might contain some stuff that Tryhackme does not directly advertise to the public. So the answer here will be remote subdomain. So we are going to say remote, and we are going to hit enter. As you can see, it is correct. Now let us go to the next one. Next one, we are going to use another tool, goes by the name of Shodan. So let me go straight to my browser and type shodan.io. Okay, I'm going to log in, because if you don't log in, you have fewer functionalities. Oh, I need to type my I'm going to log in by using Google. Okay, I'm logging in by using Google. I'm using my email over here. I'm going to blur them out actually because I don't need these spam emails. Okay, after that, now we have logged in inside of the shodan.io. Now the next thing that we need to do is to know how to use Shodan. And actually, for all of you guys who are new to Shodan, this is a search engine that is going to give you the information about the different devices that are directly connected to the internet by grabbing their banner. For example, if I go over here and I type Windows, for example, I type Windows Server 2008 like this, or let me type port. For example, I say port 502 like that. This is a port number for the SCADA systems and specifically for the protocol Modbus. You can see it bring out different banners over here. but I'm not going too much on that. We need to go straight to the questions of Tryhackme. Okay, if we go here, it says, according to Shodan.io, what is the second country in the world in terms of the number of publicly accessible Apache servers? So to do this, we need to go to the Shodan.io and type Apache over here. So we're going to say Apache server, or we can just type Apache. Okay, like that. And you are going to the section on the left over here. We are going to look at the second most country with the publicly available or publicly accessible Apache web server. And you can see over here, the answer is Germany. So we are going here and the answer Germany. So we are going to say Germany. Germany like that. Yeah, it is correct. So let us continue. Here it says, based on Shodan.io, what is the third most common port used for Apache? So here we need to know the third most common port used for Apache. The first one, I think it will be 443, which is HTTPS. The next one, I think it will be 80, which is HTTP. The third one, let us see what will be the third one. If we go over here, oh, I was wrong. The first one is port number 80. The second one is port number 443, which is HTTPS. The next one is 88. I think it is HTTP alternative. So we are going to answer. The answer will be port number 88, which is the third most used port for Apache web server. So 88 like that, and we hit enter. The next one, it says, based on Shodan.io, what is the third most common port used for Nginx web server? Nginx, this is another web server, just like Apache. Okay, so we're going to copy it and paste it on Shodan over here. And we're going to paste it, and we're going to int like that. And it is going to search, and hopefully my internet connection does not go down. And we can see the third common used port for Nginx web server is 5001. So we are going here and type 5001 like that, and we are going to submit. And just like that, we get the correct answer. Now let us go to the summary. Okay, you can look at this summary yourself, and you can see how to type different commands. And hopefully, guys, this lecture has been good. And my name is Master TVT, and this is just the start, and I'm going to give you guys a lot of value. So if you're not subscribed, you can subscribe right now, and we are just warming up. I'm coming up with more content. I will see you on the next video. Peace.